Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. We are back in the place to be. I am so grateful and thankful that you're here with me. Let's see here. You are back in the building. We are on day 4 of 14 days of self love. Are you excited about this? Because I know if you're excited, I know that I am excited. So, we are going to get this started. Let me know if you are here with me, if you're joining, if this is for your very first time. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Just let me know if this is one for your first time. I'm super excited. My name is Tanisha Portier, and Valentine's Day just passed. However, love is in the air. Love is every day, and especially self love that is underrated, has been far underrated for so long. I am here to take an extensive 14 days to dive deep and talk about different topics that will help us to explore more of the importance of self love. And the reason why this is important because we are the most important person in the world. And if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't love ourselves, then there's really, really, really nothing that we can give to other people. So remember, we have to fill up our cup and give what the overflow is so that everyone else can benefit from that. So if you joined the first day, you know that we talked about self love. And the second day, oh my goodness, there's so many. Now we're on day 4. So yet let's just recap for yesterday. So yesterday was the 3 biggest mistakes. I know not the 3, but that was the day before. Yesterday was the 3 things they don't tell you about affirmations, self-love affirmations, the things they don't tell you about it. And so we talked about that. And so some of those points in there was I gave some scientific, some research study on that. So I broke that down of why it's important. Researchers are saying that if you do self love affirmations, it actually helps you to overcome a lot of obstacles. It helps you to overcome stress and barriers. And then the next point that we talked about is when you start to say self love affirmations and it's new to you, your mind will kind of get a little bit critical of itself. And so it'll have a little bit of time to kind of tear down those limiting beliefs. However, once you keep going and saying those self-love affirmations, it'll really begin to adjust. So that was the next thing, point 2 of yesterday, and then the last point of the 3 things that they don't tell you about self-love affirmations is that once you dive deep and really start to love yourself, you begin a self-love awakening. And that is when you're all about yourself, you're all about you. You're selfish to the point where you have that confident self-love, but you're not as so where you don't just care about anyone else. It's just that you're now taking your power back and you're standing in your truth and you're standing in your comfortability and you're loving yourself and you're taking care of yourself more than you have ever before. So that is what we talked about and discussed yesterday. So now let's get this party started today. Again, if you are joining for the first time, drop a 1 in the chat. I want to know who's on here. Also, we are going to let you know some goodies towards the end. So make sure stay tuned to the end of the video because I have something very, very special for you. And I know you're going to want to take advantage of this offer. Okay. So let's get this party started. So today we're going to talk about, guess what? The secret of self love. Did you hear that? We're going to be talking about the secret of self love. Okay. So now this doesn't have to be a very, very long, drawn out topic, but there's a big secret about self love. And the secret about self love is forgiveness. That is one of the most powerful things you can do. Is the secret of self love is forgiving yourself and others. So listen, sometimes when people hear that topic, forgive myself, okay, I can do that. But when you talk about forgive others, wait now, hold on now. Are you, because you don't know what they did to me. You don't know what they said to me. You don't know how all of this ended up. And so you're like, Tanisha, we were good on the other points where you're talking about, self love and this, but things haven't always been, the best and perfect for me. I've kind of struggled in that area of forgiveness. Well, you know what? I totally understand. I've been there, done that, and I know that it is not easy to do, but it is worth it and it is healing. Now, let's talk about it. When we say forgive ourselves and others, the first thing we have to know is that we are never we are not here to be perfectionists. We are not here to make everyone feel that we have it all together, that we don't, that there's nothing that we can do wrong, that there's nothing that, will ever hurt us or, just knocked us off our high horse. We want to make sure, first of all, that we are human. I'm just like you. You're just like me. We all want the same things in life. And so sometimes when we put ourselves up so high, it's really, really hard for us when we fall down, because when we want to forgive ourselves, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's been, I've said this, I've done this, and now people think that I'm here, and I was supposed to do this, and all these things didn't work out. So, how can I forgive myself for, the setbacks that has happened in my life? How can I forgive myself for the decisions that I have made knowingly and unknowingly? Like, what am I supposed to do? How can I ever forgive myself for the things that I've done, that I've said to other people, that I've said to my parents, to my children, to my spouse, to, to members of my group, my family? Like, how can I? And what about, what about the anger that I have, the bitterness? It's been something that's been held and locked up in me for so long. And even when I try to forgive, it's just something that is not in me. And it's something that I just don't feel like I can do. So, what do you suggest, Tanisha? I'm glad you asked. Well, in short, the first thing that we have to do is we have to know that all is well. Everything that we have said, everything that we have done to someone else, whether knowingly or unknowingly, and hurt someone, once we grow to a point where we are sincerely, and the point is, this is the most important point. We have to be sincere. When we apologize to other people, we have to be sincere. But when we apologize and we forgive ourselves, it's okay to say, you know what? I did some dirt to some people back in the day. I told that lady off and she didn't do nothing to me. I, made these people feel very, very bad about themselves. And, I shouldn't have raised my voice. I should have did this differently. I should have looked at the circumstances in a much better way where, in hindsight, it really didn't take for me to blow that much steam off. And so I am looking at this in a perspective of, I have to change. This is not the type of person that I want to be known for myself, for my family, for the things that I stand for. And when we truly begin to peel back those layers and say, you know what, I I gotta forgive myself. I've gotta let this go, because if I don't let this go, I can't move forward. So in order for us to forgive ourselves, it's a part of self-love to understand that we are not perfect. We might mess up in 10 more minutes from now. And guess what? We have to understand that we are learning, that we are growing, that we are taking the highs and the lows. And as women, we get emotional sometimes. And sometimes we have to know that expressing ourselves in a time of frustration and a time of anger and a time of stress, that we have to learn how to learn other ways to self-regulate, so that we are not hurting ourselves or others. Because guess what, when we come to the point where we can say, I'm going to slow down, before I'm going to think before I speak. And that means when I'm talking to myself, before I get upset because I didn't make, arrangements the way I want and they didn't go the way I wanted to go, before I say something about myself that is going to pull my vibrations down, that is going to hurt me, to hurt my own feelings, I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, you know what, Tanisha, you did the best that you could with what you knew how and what you had. And now congratulate yourself and move forward. Don't stick on the point where you see that again, I messed up again. Oh gosh. See, I forgave myself last week. So that means I can't forgive myself this week, because how many times am I supposed to forgive myself before I get it all together? It's like, no, it's like, be easy. It's like, peace, be still. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to make sure, let me just double check. Okay. And here's the thing, I guess that's just the camera. So here's the thing, is that when we just say, okay, I'm going to cool off for a second, and we take a step back and we say, look, if I don't forgive myself, if I forgave myself yesterday and the day before yesterday, what makes me think that I can't forgive myself for something totally different today, or possibly the same thing? It's that we have to learn how to be easy on ourselves, because listen, the thing is, the world is so critical on everything that we do. They're watching the way you look, they're watching the way you walk, they're watching the way you talk, the way you sound, the way you handle your business. They're monitoring, they're watching you, they're being critical, your friends, your family, everyone else. So why add on to all of that stress and, dis-ease, right? Why? And why not just be easy with yourself? Why not just love yourself in spite of everything? And why, the thing is that when we do that and when we grasp that, and when we begin to not take ourselves so serious, it be like, man, it just laugh. Like, I must have been kidding, yo. Like, I know they upset. Like, I know they want to pinch me, but and sometimes you just gotta laugh. Sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? I'll do it again tomorrow. Like, I'll get better. Every day I get better and better in every way. I know this was a little error. I know I did my best. I was better than yesterday. I was better than 20 minutes ago. And so I'm gonna just keep on chugging along. And I forgive myself. I truly forgive myself. And I love myself. And I'm not gonna be down on myself. And I'm not gonna hold myself to what I did yesterday. I'm not gonna hold myself to what I did last week. And when you begin to release that, like seriously release it, and just laugh at yourself sometimes, like relax. Because sometimes we can take ourselves over. Like, have you ever seen somebody like serious, like, okay, you need to do this, 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 and this, and they make you feel uptight? Like, well, do you know you make yourself feel uptight when you feel like you have to, like, relax your jaws, like relax your eyebrows, like relax your muscles, your face muscles, like relax your shoulders, smile, like smile for no reason, and breathe, because everything is going to be okay. Let the world criticize, let the world be critical, but not when we're back home, not when we're with ourselves, not when we know that we're trying to do the best that we can. You see, the secret of self love is forgiving ourselves first. Because you know what? God forgives us. The Bible says there's no condemnation. There's none. Though your sins be red as white as snow, like there's none. So what makes us think that you see, I'm laughing because what makes us think that we have to hold ourselves to, in such uh, a critical state, that we have to be angry at ourselves. And let me tell you why I can speak so freely, because I used to be, I used to want to be so perfect. I just want to have it all together. I just wanted to show people, like, look at me, because yeah, sure, like, definitely, let me, but I'm just like, that's not me. Like, no, the part, like me, like the happy, the loving me, yeah, that's me. But just doing extra, like trying to do more than trying to be perfect, trying to people please. Like, I wore myself out, and then when I couldn't make it, it was hard for me to forgive myself, because I was wondering what people were thinking about me. Well, I was wondering, if did I do okay today? What, did I look okay? Did I talk right? Did I say the things that did I, like, was it okay? And then I just say, you know what, Tanisha? You got to love yourself regardless, because self love is forgiving yourself. And when you release and when you let go, because God said, I have no condemnation, that, I have a mind of Christ. I didn't give you the spirit of fear. You fearing, you upset, you not forgiven, but a power of love. Love, that's self love and a sound mind. So you just, if you're in unforgiveness, if we are in unforgiveness, we don't have a sound mind. Our mind is thinking of, what we're going to say about, ourselves next. What are we going to criticize? What are we going to look on the mirror and like, oh, look at this right here. Like, what are we going to do? But what happens if we change the narrative? And what happens if we get up every day, you know what? And we tell ourselves, I love ourselves, before anything happens today, which it possibly will, I'm going to forgive you already. I'm going to forgive myself already for anything that would happen, because I know I'm going to do my best. I know I'm going to put my best foot forward. I know I'm going to live my life on purpose. I know I'm going to stand in my truth. And you know what? I'm not going to criticize myself. I'm going to forgive myself if I slip up, if I have a hiccup, because that is a part of self love. And I'm getting more to myself. I'm getting to know myself a little bit more. I'm getting more comfortable with who I am. I'm getting to just be me unapologetically. And whoever doesn't like it, they can, that's your business. That's tough. So the thing is that when we love ourselves, we can forgive ourselves. Now, when we talk about part two, forgiving ourselves and then others, that's the part where it gets a little bit more sticky. And here's why. Because we can, you know, say this, and that, but then when it's time to forgive others, it's like, why should I let somebody else off the hook because of what they've done to me? Why should I, you know, even think about letting them get the best of me? If I forgive them, that means that they're going to continue to do what they've been doing to me. And I'm not trying to have all that. I need them to know that I'm serious. So if I can hold this grudge, hey, Angela, thank you so much for joining in. I just looked at my chat, and if I look at this in a situation where I'm letting somebody else get away with this, oh no, I can't let people get off the hook. They have to know that I'm upset. They got to know that, that I'm gonna hold my grudge when I see him. I'm gonna give him the side eye. Like, you come at me wrong and say something. And it's like, hold up, wait a minute. I mean, I get it. Like, and it's not. And here's the thing: forgiveness is not like you can just somebody do something and then you forgive them that day. No, you're gonna be in your feelings. Like, you're going to have emotions that come up. You're going to be you're going to want to express those emotions. And the Bible says, be angry, but don't sin. Like, you're going, and sometimes you're going to express those emotions, whether it be yelling at somebody, cussing someone out, whether it be, hitting a pillow, whether it be, whatever it is, going to see a therapist because you need to release some things. I mean, there's going to be things that happen that are going to trigger a point where you're going to have to release that anger. But there's stages to forgiveness. It's not just like, oh man, I can forgive this person because they did this and this. No, it's the point where we can say, okay, it's going to take me a little bit more time to do this, but I ask God, please don't let me harbor anger. Please don't let me harbor negative energy towards these people. Like, I am not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me, because I know that I need to release myself from the debt of what has happened to me. And now it is in my power to choose how I respond. No, I do not like what happened to me. No, I do not accept what happened to me. However, I'm not going to let this keep me in chains. I'm not going to let this keep me in bondage. I'm not going to let this hold me down. I'm not going to let this scar me for the rest of my life. I'm not going to let this stop me from loving. I'm not going to let this stop me from being my ultimate best version of myself. I'm not going to let this stop me from loving other people, from showing love, for showing my light, for being the best person that I can be. Because I know if I harbor this pain against this person, this person, this person, and this person, it's like you're holding a bag of old potatoes. Have you ever smelled a bag of rotten potatoes? Like, have you ever smelled a bag of, have you ever, anybody, like, have you ever been over anybody else or your house? Like, I know before I've had a bag of rotten, and I'm just like, what? Like, it was in the cabin. I was like, well, what happened? What is that smell? Oh my, are you kidding me? Oh, like, help me, somebody. And a bag of rotten potatoes smells horrible. So that is just like harboring anger and harboring unforgiveness. It you reek. We reek when we harbor, and you think nobody sees it, but you see it in your attitude. You see it in your behavior. You see it in your in your whole. I'm almost going to Spanish, forma de ser, but you see it in the way that you talk to people, the way that you deliver. Everything about you says, don't mess with me right now. Like, don't come at me wrong, because I got this person on my list, this person, and you about to be the next. I get it. I get it. You know, however, we want to unpack. We want to unpack. We want to unpack that bag of potatoes. We want to release that, because again, remember, anger, unforgiveness, that actually it listen. When we harbor anger and unforgiveness, we lose self-love. We lose self-love to the fullest. And the thing about it is this: when we do that, this is what happens. All of a sudden, everything that we everything that we have wanted to kind of get away from, of trying to like let that personal vendetta go, let these people go, it just piles up and piles up and piles up. So if we can get to the mindset of saying, look, I got to release this person, because when I have unforgiveness, when I have personal vendettas, when I'm upset, when you tense up. And do you know that when we're angry and unforgiveness causes, to harbor somewhere, and the energy has to go somewhere, that the anger goes somewhere in our body, and guess what, it sits there, and it can sit there for years and years and years, and that bag of potatoes just start to reek. And guess what, and then it begins to cause stress. We begin to look old. We learn to, we begin to age fast. All of these things happen because we're holding on to unforgiveness. And the thing is that the other person is going on about their business. They done forgot about you. They don't even know what happened. Like, they don't even, like, they like, and they see you, they like, what's wrong with you? Like, you, oh, you still remember that? I done forgot all about, I done forgave myself about that a long time. You still on that? Are you still not forgiving? You still ain't, listen, I done forgave myself for this, and you still holding on to stuff. Like, no, you're not holding me hostage. You're not holding me back. Like, I have no responsibility. I have no ties. Once I've forgiven myself sincerely, I have sincerely apologized. I sincerely told you, look, this, I didn't mean it, and I need you to know that, going forward, this is how it's going to be. And I've given you that. And if the next person does not accept, does not want it, you have no responsibility to hold on. You have no responsibility to stay in that energy. You have no responsibility to stay stuck where they are if you're growing. You see what I'm saying? So when you forgive, you don't want to be stuck, because the immune system shuts down for 72 hours, and even longer if it's for years. And then that self-love begins to dissipate. And then you get to self-hate. And the opposite of self-love is what? Self-destruction. But we want to stay on the love vibe. We want to stay on the positive vibe. And the more we can begin to let go, to let release, so we forgive other people, we forgive ourselves, we forgive other people. And remember, it's not going to happen overnight, but it can happen overnight. And it first starts off with God, or whoever you believe, whatever power, higher power, most high, divine source, whatever, it's important to ask for help. Help me to forgive. Show me, teach me to not hold this in my heart. Show me how to forgive. I forgive even though it's still in me. I want to know the steps, even if you don't know how. Just show me, divine, Holy Ghost, like God, like show me the steps. Show me how to take my power back for me. Help me to heal from this. It hurts so bad. It did something to me that is unspeakable, that is unexplainable. But I need you more than yesterday, God, to help me to forgive. I need the inner strength, the inner power, the inner wisdom to tap in to my God power, to my source, to who I am, to my strength, and say, you know what, this is no longer going to hold me down, but I am going to get back up. And if you ever fall on your back, what? You fall on your back so you can look up, so what? You can get up. And when you get up from unforgiveness, when you get up from forgiving other people, when you let go of those things, all of a sudden there's a heaviness that's just lifted off of you and it has just vanished. And you feel like loads have been lifted off of your shoulder. You feel healing. You feel healthy. You feel revived. You feel a peace that passes all understanding. And then, you know what? And then once you begin to forgive, like you said, other people are able to forgive you because remember, listen, these are karmic lessons, and what comes around goes around. So the more mercy, the more ease, the more forgiveness, the more lightheartedness, the more just the word I want to say is the less critical we can be of others when something goes wrong and they cause offense to us, the less of that we take on, the more power we have. Because we can always take our power back because we create our own reality with our thoughts. And once we let go of things and we release people from the debt of what it is and we forgive ourselves, God begins to bless us because it says, okay, now I see your heart. Now I see your mind. Now I know that you're not harboring the pain. Now I know that you're not harboring. Now I can give you that promotion that you've been asking for. Now I know that you can work with these people. Now I know that you're able to come in to a group of people and to really be able to share your story and to really be able to uplift and be able to be a mediator, to be able to have a non-judgmental awareness stance to people, and people don't have to feel uptight. People can feel comfortable around you because they know they don't have to walk on eggshells because you're not going to have um, that critical guard on you, and you radiate love, you radiate happiness, you radiate forgiveness, you radiate peace, you radiate humanity at its best, and people can draw to that, and people want to know, are you human? Are you approachable? Are you likable? Are you communicable where are you relatable? They want to know, is anyone going to be able to understand them without looking at them side eye? Because they have so many other people. And when you can be that person in your truth, in your power, and not wait to gang up on people and say, look at it, look what they did. But just say, you know what, she's doing the best that she can. I decide not to be in that conversation. I'm not going to participate in those things. I'm going to love that person for who they are because I know where I've been. I know what I've seen. I know what they've been to, and I never want to see anyone go through the types of things that I've gone through or seen. And I know that she's going to grow. And, with time, we all grow because we're all on our own journey of self love. And so, the secret to self love is to forgive yourself of the things that you have done, no matter how bad and how horrible you think they have been. If God has forgiven you and He sees nothing but you, your God-like self, your God-like nature, then you can forgive yourself too. It's like a mother and a child. When a baby does something or a child does something, it's like a mother love where they go like, you know what? Oh, babe, I forgive you for that. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Like everything's gonna be okay. I understand. I've got some things that I've done too that I haven't really told anybody, but now, you know what? I've released those things, and I feel better about myself that I don't harbor those things anymore. So I want to invite you to forgive yourself for things that to the things that you have done before, and the things that others have done to you. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to invite you to make a list of people. And the reason I want to say a list is write a list of anyone who has ever done anything that hurt you, anyone that's ever did anything that has treated you in such a way that you did not feel right about it. And I want you to write that list and just go down a list and whatever it is. And I want you to just forgive them. If you can't write it down, if you don't feel like you have it, just if whoever comes to your mind right now while you're listening to this replay, while you're listening to this live, who comes to your mind who has, hurt you, then all of a sudden say, you know what, I forgive you and I release you in love. And release them in love and truly, truly do it from the top and the bottom and the full center of your heart space. And And when you do it in love, there's a peace that passes all understanding that flows through you, and you feel so much better because you're not holding on to those old dirty heavy old bag of potatoes, that heaviness, right? And so when we think about that, and then we look at the people that we reverse it, and we think about the people that we might have hurt, that we might have accosted, we might have said some things, just some things that somebody might have said. You know what? You hurt me the other day. You did this to me the other day. Think of those people that we probably did something to, that comes up to our mind. And if we can actually go and ask for forgiveness to them, then and if that's something you can do, just say, you know what? Hey, the other day I did something, I said something that was wrong. I laughed about it. I made a joke, and it was this, and I knew that it wasn't right. I knew that it hurt your feelings, but I kept on going. I kept on chuckling about it, but I do apologize, and I want to just let you know that, and sincerely forgive. And you don't know what that can do to that person. You don't know the pain that they can go. Always be kind to others because you don't know their story. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're facing right now. I always have this slogan that says, be kind, like be kind to others. Be kind with kindness, with love, with peace, because you don't know anyone's story. I don't care if they're a CEO to a social worker, to a janitor, to a cook, to a lawyer, to a doctor. You don't know what people are going to. People have to show up, and I'm going to say this thing, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a special offer. We don't know what people are going through, and here's why. And let's look at this work environment. If you think about when you go to work, you may have some people that are, different energies, high and low. But for the most part, most people go into work and they leave everything at the door. They leave all their stress, all their problems, because you're not, per work, you can't bring all your struggles, you can't bring all your pain, you can't bring all those things. But you have to go over, hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? Hope you're doing good, and da 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 da. And everyone's hunky dory. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm good. Like, everything's good. And back home, like you don't know if this is you like if you only knew what was going on. That's why we say, I'm good. Good morning. How are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? We don't even, we don't say, do you really want to know? Like, do you have time to listen? Like, so now instead of saying like, how you doing, just ask, how are you feeling today? If we change the narrative and say, how are you feeling? Then people have to think about it. And they have to say, oh, well, I feel like, you know, I need a little support in this area, or I feel like, this is going to be an amazing day. They have to think about it. So when we can just go in with a non-critical state, because we don't know what people are going through, we have to just know that forgiveness is just going to be the imperative key to loving ourselves, to self-love, so that people can feel like that we are approachable, that we are the salt of the earth, that we are the light of the world, that we are chosen people that love, that genuinely love and care for the well-beings of others. Because sometimes all we have to do is give a smile, and we're rich with smiles, and all we have to do is share one of them because they're free. Right? I always say smile. It's always smile because you use less muscles to smile than you do to frown. It takes like a couple hundred muscles to frown. Did you know that? So that is it. Now, let me give you this offer here. Remember, let's wrap it up. That was a tip. The secret to self love is forgiving yourself and others. That was the most important point here. And just do it in love. And now, as you know, I've been doing this 14 days of self love series, and I want to offer you a free self love guided workbook. It is full of information, activities, exercises, and question and answers to go over all the different topics that we've been talking about over the course of these 14 days. And then there's also another call to action. You can get on my email list to get some more goodies that I'm giving away. And we're just going to be having a wonderful time. So if you are watching the replay and, and you find this valuable, please share this message. Please let someone know. Comment below. You probably, you're catching on one of my pages, whether it be Fruit and Veggie Mama page, whether it be Tanisha Portier International, or whether it be my Instagram or my YouTube page. Go ahead and share this message, comment below to see if this has impacted you or what you've learned from it. Because you know what? It really not only helps the algorithm, but it really helps me to know that this message is getting across in a heartfelt way and that you're able to do some takeaways from here. All right. So make sure that link, I'm linking that information above, and you're going to be able to just go in there, put in your email address in there, and then what you're going to be able to do is get my free 14 days of self-love guided workbook. It is really going to help you along your journey. All right. I hope you enjoyed this message. I hope that it was helpful for you. I love you. I really, really love you. My name is Tanisha Portier, and I am a global innovator for the 21st century. So I know, I feel, I see, say, touch, taste, believe that I'm here to create. I'm here to cultivate my natural gifts and talents. And that's my first starting off by helping and healing myself, my family, and then the world. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I am blowing kisses to the globe. Have a beautiful day, and as always, smile. Let me see. Who's smiling? Ah, I see you. You didn't think I seen you, right? Smile.